Before we get started, I got one question. Do you read the Bible, Brett? There was a thing in this episode that I purposely wasn't going to mention was on a boat that was in the last episode.
Oh, God, this episode.
So I was like, I wonder if they're going to ask what that thing is, and no one did.
All right, let's get into this.
Okay.
What is there to get?
This episode, or half of an episode, really, Seele, the seed of the soul. The first half of this episode is a clip show in the form of a report by Seele reviewing Gendo's actions, summarizing the first season of episodes and the story up until this point. In the second half, Ritsuko conducts an experiment to determine if pilots can be switched between the Evangelions they normally pilot. Rei can synchronize with Unit 1 fairly well, but when Shinji attempts to synchronize with Unit 0, it goes violently berserk inside of the base in a manner identical to the failed activation tests that took place before Shinji's arrival in Tokyo 3. As before, Unit 0 attacks the hangar's observation booth, smashing the window. However, Rei was standing at the window instead of Gendo, as was the case in the first test, causing Misato to wonder if Unit 0 was trying to kill Rei. Meanwhile, Ritsuko feels that Unit 0 was trying to attack Ritsuko herself. At the end of the episode, Rei uses Unit 0 to bring the Lance of Longinus. Longinus?
Yes.
It's like I think it's Longinus, but
I've always pronounced
recovered from Antarctica to the deepest level of Nerve's base, Terminal Dogma. So this was an episode.
This sucked. I'm sorry, but God, anime was usually pretty good at not doing clip shows for the most part, but woo! I guess you could say at least they kept it to half an episode. But
yeah,
this just screamed like we don't have enough money for a full episode here. We gotta cut it in half. Sorry.
This is a very Gainax thing.
Yeah, at least with like one thing that I appreciated about Gurren's is that they were fully aware that it was a clip show, and they like showed really cool artwork and like previs stuff in the background to like show what led up to those episodes. So
yeah,
like
that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. This was yeah, like I said in the last review, their budget is gone.
Oh, gosh. Oh man, this was tough to sit through. Just like, well, I didn't even sit through all of it. I just got to the point where the plot actually kicks in, and that's halfway through.
Yeah. And everything. It still blows my mind that everything that could ever be biblical is mentioned. The fact that they just whip out the Dead Sea Scrolls in just a random off-put line.
Mm-hmm.
There are many kinds of flowers. There are some that are pretty, and there are some that I do not want. It's like, oh god dang it! It's beat poetry night.
That was a third of the episode. Was Ray's monologue.
Oh gosh. And then the other third was Asuka being a pain. It's like Shinji stop sucking, and it's just like, shut up. Like, oh, and I'm sure I can't prove it, but it sounds like they pulled a Disney from the 70s and just rehashed the Berserk Eva animation, just changing it up a little so it doesn't look like they just entirely traced over it.
They've pretty much mimicked all of the movement.
Almost. It's like instead of like the punching through the wall, it's just the constant head banging and.
Yep. And it's go ahead.
No, it's just what is there to talk about? And then they do that stupid little stinger. It's just like Rei has the spear of Longinus, and it's going it down, and it's like, oh, finally something's happening. To be continued.
Well, other stuff did happen. It's just not important until later because they have
Stop
these
doing that.
That's the entire show. Am I the only one that remembers this?
Everything is important, but not in the episode.
This is exactly the cutscene in like the first Destiny game, where it's like there is plenty of things in this world, but I'm not going to tell you any of them. And it's like, come on!
I know, but it's like the synchronization tests are insanely important for a couple reasons, because they go out of their way to tell you that, okay, Unit 2, you are the definition of not important.
Yep.
And then they say that Unit 1 can go with Unit 0, and then Unit 0 can go with Unit 1 until the activation tests. And then they were only upset when Unit 1 tried to go in Unit 0. And then both times they had freakouts and they could smell the other person.
Yeah.
Like they could get actual...
That was a weird detail.
Yeah, and like you got to see the weird acid trip thing that Rei went through, and Shinji went through the same thing when he was in 2, but Rei didn't go through that when she was in 1. All right, she was at when Shinji went through it in 0, and then she did not go through it when she was in 1.
Yeah.
So they're having quasi-similar freakouts, but not. And they're starting to drop seeds that Rei is, shocker, different.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, man. Blunt like, the thing is, the show has the subtlety of a sledgehammer. It's just the handle of the sledgehammer is really long, so it takes it a while to hit.
I want to know the story behind this episode, because what exactly happened besides the budget running out to be like, okay, we got to do kind of a clip show, but we also want to introduce some plot stuff. And I get it. Some of this stuff is going to be important, but it's, oh gosh, this is just reminding me of Pacific Rim the Black and Dota Dragon's Blood, where it's just like, we're setting up a bunch of stuff, but you gotta wait for season 2. Sorry, bye.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's the point where, yeah, we want to have a clip show to remind people, but we also are a more plot than fight heavy show. So unless we tell people this shit, they're going to get confused more than they're already going to be confused.
And it was a lazy clip show. It was just like, this day, Angel attacked. Shinji beat it. This day, Angel attacked. Shinji beat it. This day, nothing happened. This day, Angel attack.
Yeah, the presentation of the clip show was very sloppy, but also kind of dry.
Yeah, and it's weird when, like, again, Gurren's was done because it's just a thing that Gainax does. This is the one that was done because, again, they don't know how to manage money. And you had to make it half of a clip show. Like, they had to do that in Gurren because they were perverts and had to make the spa episode half a clip show because it was inappropriate. That's not because they ran out of money. They made the episode, they just couldn't air it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What else?
People that aren't religious, Jesus gets stabbed with a spear.
Yep.
No, I got that.
I know, but there's some people that are going to be like, they talk about the Bible a lot. What does the Lance of Jupiter do? Because not a lot of people get the Lance of Longinus part.
Yeah.
That's a thing that's not said a lot depending on what translation you read. And it's kind of just like, hey, yeah, she's literally carrying it towards a thing.
Oh, we're going to see it soon. All I could think about was Malcolm McDowell and I think Caligula saying, like, Longinus.
Longinus. and it's, again, the weird form of, we have to pronounce stuff differently.
Yep.
It's Longinus. Every version of that I have ever heard is Longinus, including a person whose YouTube video, oh, I can't remember it. they made a YouTube video of like the overusage of Christian ideology and things, and they even had a Bible Black reference.
Oh God.
Oh
where
God.
even in Bible Black they call it the Lance of Longinus.
When a hentai gets it more correct, you did something wrong. Okay, so what else is there to talk about? We basically
Not a lot.
We basically got half an episode.
Yeah, it's basically you need to realize that
this is
they're
when
not
everything-
they're not concentrating on reconfiguring anything with Unit 2 or Asuka, and they are focused on letting you know that there's something weird between Rei and Shinji, but we don't know what it is yet. So that's basically what we got out of this episode.
Yep.
Let's cut it.
That's
all we really need to do. So, Mike, is the seatbelt lights?
There's been some turbulence.
No. You buckle up.
Yeah, so buckle up.
Hold on. I need to recheck my facts on something I said in one of our earlier reviews when we were talking about some stuff. Just to remember how hard you need to put the seatbelt on.
I've been told episode 16 is when caution goes right out the window.
That sounds about right. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is in this
episode. Yes.
So what you're saying is we're gonna do a couple more tonight.
Heavy metal album cover starts happening next episode.
Yeah, we're about to get there, buddy.
All right.
Let's
get the hell out of here so we can do another episode because it's short as shit.
Yep.
Right. All right, Cameron, where can they find you?
Twitter.com/CamsEyeView. I have a website, camseyeView.biz. I review animated films called The Other Side of Animation. I am the co-host of the Renegade Animation podcast on renegadepopculture.com. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/CamsEyeView. That's all you need to know. I need to get into this.
Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups, just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Check out all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
We're gonna have to after these two, and you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. We're about to get into some shit. We'll see you later.